Here's looking at you, kid. Of a huge survey of 2,044 people in the research, 63% of people my age had glasses. I'm the one without. But they also said that is 95% of them said that losing their vision would be worse than actually losing their sense of hearing, their memory, and their quality of life. The science of vision and eye health encompasses various disciplines. Now, this is including ophthalmology, optometry, neuroscience, and physiology. So it's all linked in there. That means we have what's going on in the eyes and what's going on in the head linked in together, and then what's distributed throughout the body and how we react to that. And they all seek to understand the structure and the function of the different factors that influence, guess what? Eye health and vision. Now, the eye is a complex organ. It's very small. As we know, if you're working on it, more so than a lung versus an eye, there's a huge difference. It's responsible for vision, and it consists of several structures like the cornea, the pupil, the iris, the optic nerve, retina, and the lens too play a crucial part. Each part of the eye has a specific role in the visual process, from focusing light into the retina to transmitting information to the brain. Now, as a person who sees, we have a visual perception. Visual perception refers to the brain's ability to interpret what's going on and intercept from the visual things that are dotted around in front of them, such as the shapes, the colors, and the different designs that they see. But their vision pulls that in, and of all the visual stimuli, the brain, through the eyes, receive and make sense of the surrounding environment. That means, believe it or not, that we don't all see the world in the same way, because you can have a cascade of colors, you can have lots of shapes, you can have lots of designs, but they can stifle us. Some of us see more than others. Vision is almost like the gatekeeper. So if there's any damage to the cornea, the pupil, and so on, that's where the visual perception is skewed in the first place. And then the brain, which is individual to the person, and the fact that there's more neurological testing going on now where we can actually see in the brain, which means that vision and perception is also skewed again by the individual for them to communicate it out, whatever it is that they perceive to be right in front of them, as you, who perhaps has different eyes, a different ability to have vision, and then your brain is different too. And so there's a couple of processes here that we're going through for us all to make sense of what's in front of us, and it's different. Now, the process of visual perception involves the integration of sensory information from the eyes with other cognitive processes, such as what's going on upstairs. But there's also the nitty-gritty of this. You've got your memory, because if I've been in this room before, or I think I've been in a room like it, such as if we go into an office block and floor to floor, and we're on a new floor, we're near the window, and I had an office seat near the window on the previous floor, but it's painted differently. If all the shapes are the same, if the windows are in the same place, if the desks are in the same place, if the toilet is in the same place, I automatically pick up on that array of shapes and think déjà vu. So our brain then becomes more powerful, and it begins to skew what we see as in to match what it was we previously saw, say, on the other floor. Then you could have the attention. Depending on your level of attention with regard to your brain and what you see on a particular floor or in a building, can also harness your memory for later on. So that if you are there the second time or on a second floor and you think you see everything, you're not fully sure. Then there's a spatial awareness. Our brain is all of the time looking at proprioception of what's around us so that I can stay upright. Essentially, my balance. And I give a person beside me, either side, in front or behind, personal space. The optics and refraction are hugely important too, because the optics of the eye is a branch of physics that deals with the behavior of light, whether it bounces off pupil back out again, whether it's received and how it's received within the pupil, and its interaction with that matter. Now, refraction then refers, of course, to the bending of light as it passes through an object. Now, this object can be different media, such as the cornea in the eye and the lens of the eye. So there's a couple of places even within the eye that we need to understand too. Now, understanding the principles of optics and refraction are hugely important, because if we're getting diagnosed with having to, say, have corrective refractive errors, such as nearsightedness or farsightedness, things like that, that dictates our, well, glasses, which means that dictates our style, which means the perception of other people as they see us through their vision, which could be skewed, and how their brain then reacts to that as they make sense of it all. So it's all linked in with how we see and how we're seen as well. Then we have visual disorders and diseases. Various eye condition diseases and vision and eye health can and are possible. These can range from hugely terrible things, really, that maybe just start in the basics of refractive errors and age-related changes in vision, which does happen, to more serious conditions such as glaucoma, cataracts, and diabetic retinopathy. So there's a lot of research in this area which focuses on us trying to identify and understand the disease mechanisms, what causes them, and developing effective then treatments so that hopefully things can be prevented in the future. So it's truly important to have good eye health, to maintain this so that we can have good vision and prevent us from having bad vision in the future. Now, the vision that we have right today is not necessarily going to be the vision we have tomorrow. So we have to have healthy habits, such as regular eye exams, wearing protective eyewear, I mentioned, and show that sunglasses, maintaining a balanced diet. So what we put into ourselves does come out in our vision. So we need things like nutrients that support eye health, such as vitamin A, lutein, zeaxanthin, omega-3, fatty acids. All of these things are really good. Now, I mentioned fatty acids. Not all fats are bad fats, so we have to be careful with what we eat and how we eat it too. We need to avoid certain things that can damage the eyes, like excessive smoking or UV exposure. Visual development and aging definitely happens. I mentioned at the top that I'm aging, so vision undergoes changes throughout its lifespan. It's like our skin. Everything renews itself every couple of years, from infancy through to old age. So research on the visual development explores how visual systems matures and how that relates and adapts to change within our own, say, thinking, our brain, and there's going to be a huge field of this in the future, for sure. Then we look at technology. Oh yes, you can't keep out big tech, because technology have revolutionized the field of vision science and eye health. I remember my friend years ago, he was very much a squinter. He had glasses, but then he got the laser and it didn't work on his eyes. And so as a single guy, he needed to have a little bit more style. But thankfully, a couple of years later, the vision improved with regard to the laser as the technology advanced, and he got himself a lovely girlfriend too. But the technology enables us, or can enable us, to have more precise diagnostics. And then with that comes innovative treatments. With that, you have new approvals or approaches, more so, to vision correction. There can be advancements in imaging techniques. There can be coherence tomography, surgical procedures such as LASIK, cataract surgery, and vision enhancement devices as well. So you've got things like contact lenses, of course, my friend could have had them. And you have intraocular lenses or visual aids as well. But all of this then gets to the good stuff, the psychological and social impact on this, how I look, what I see. Because if we get, say, the frame of a different glasses and we put it on somebody's eyes, it can make the rest of their face look in a totally different manner. So vision and eye health can have significant psychological and social implications. So how I feel about it when I go into a store and I look into that mirror and I say to myself, whoa, these look really cool on me, but others might not feel that way. So I might purchase this and think this makes me look cool because I have a certain vision of what I look at. I categorize myself essentially. Maybe it's I think of myself a certain type of actor on the television. And when I'm looking for many, many years, remember I touched on memory there, and I'm looking for many years at certain shows and I go, I like that actor, they maybe are like me or their personality's like me. Therefore, I morph my look into them subconsciously. And it could be a case where I actually physically look a little bit like them as well. And so therefore, when I presume that these glasses are selecting towards me more so than me selecting them, because I need to look like that actor, that's the type of range of looks I look like with my color hair, my shaped face, and so on. And we all do this. We all have this subconscious detailed kind of decision-making process that we don't know why we do, but we do it anyway. But it's not necessarily going to be true, because socially people might look at us in a different way and perceive us as looking differently because of those glasses. So they might be very nice people, a lot of them are, say, you look really nice with your new glasses, but why are you wearing those glasses? They're nice glasses, you're a nice person, you have a nice face, but not together. So we have to get it correct. Now, research in this area examines the psychosocial impact of visual impairment strategies for coping with vision loss and the interventions to improve visual function and well-being. Overall, the science of visual and eye health is multidisciplinary and it's multifaceted too. And it brings in and encompasses a huge range of topics and even approaches aimed at understanding, preserving and enhancing visual function and eye health. So it's all about how we perceive if we're happy with our glasses, our eye health, if we can have laser surgery, if we can have contact lenses, if we can do without that, if we don't want the glasses and we can use the technologies, that's great. If we think glasses are cool, that's fantastic too. We might see a superstar on television or online who has really chunky glasses and might say, you know what, let's be loud and proud about it. Whatever you feel is best. At the end of the day, if your vision is going in some way, you can make sure that it doesn't affect you psychologically. How other people take you up is up to them. You can dictate a lot more about you than your vision too. I hope you've got something from this video. And if you have, well, keep smiling, be happy, get your eyes out and let them smile for you too. Thank you for watching. And if you want to do more, just watch more.